First of all, we're going to have speeches from a couple of our really important partners. So we could never do any of this, obviously, without the Online Centre Network, but without the partnership that we have with government and with corporates who share our vision for a better world through digital and who are willing to help us fund that too. So first of all, we have Hannah Cornick, the Head of Digital Impact and Sustainability at BT. Hannah.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. Of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. Nothing before us.
So thank you for having me here today, and thank you to Helen for the introduction. That was our latest TV advert, which some of you might have seen, and I wanted to speak a little bit more today about the programme that's part of, which is not just for kids, but is actually got a really ambitious goal to help 10 million people of all ages and of all backgrounds to help develop their digital skills. And I wanted to talk a little bit more about why working with the Good Things Foundation and the Online Centres Network is such a critical part in helping us deliver that. So I'm actually very new to BT. I think this is my 7th or 8th week, and one of the things that really excited me about joining this organisation was the way it touches so many people's lives on a day-to-day basis. We've got 30 million customers who depend on us, and that's everything from families to businesses. We've got 100,000 colleagues who work for us all around the country, and we're the largest employer of apprentices in the UK. We've got 600 stores on high streets all around the country, and we've got the largest fixed and mobile network in the UK, and we were the first to launch 5G. So this puts us in a really unique position to touch millions of people on a daily basis. And we believe that gives us a responsibility and an opportunity to make a real difference and to do more to help people build better digital lives. We all know that we live in a world which is changing at an absolutely staggering pace, and technology is really at the heart of that. So whether that's smart devices and connected homes, whether that's artificial intelligence and machine learning, which we hear a lot about today, or whether that's automation, which is changing the way we work, and cloud computing. And I know it can often feel like some of those are quite distant trends, which may affect us at some point in the future, but actually they're affecting us right now. You may not even realise that actually sometimes when you're contacting companies with a customer service inquiry, that the person you think you're speaking to at the other end of the online chat is a chatbot that's powered by machine learning. And it's estimated that the average home in the UK has actually up to 10 devices connected to the internet already, and that's set to accelerate dramatically. So with this massive shift in digital technology, we all know that actually there's still a critical challenge with the digital skills gap, and that there's 11.9 million adults in the UK who still lack essential digital skills. This is affecting individuals, it's affecting communities, and it's affecting the economy. So it's estimated that it costs the UK £63 billion in lost GDP a year. And that's even before we begin to take into account how that impacts individuals, not able to access public services, not able to find the best prices or deals online, not able to connect with others. And we are really concerned that actually this digital skills gap risks creating even deeper social divides in our country. The research shows that vulnerable people are much less likely to be internet users. As you probably all know, 47% of people with a disability are not using the internet currently, and 36% of those who are unemployed are non-internet users. And we think of this as a double disadvantage, so the people in our society who are already at risk of exclusion actually facing another hurdle in their lives. So this year, along with the Department for Culture, Media and Sport and with Google, we helped to fund a survey that's conducted by the Oxford Institute for the Internet to understand the way people are using the internet, some of the barriers they're facing, and the impact that that's having on their lives. There were some really interesting findings from that research, but there were three things that really struck me. The first was that for anyone over the age of 50, for every year, 2% less people use the internet. Of those who are not online, 73% said that the main reason was they just didn't think it was for them. And I think that shows a real challenge around motivation that we need to address before we can even think about getting people accessing the digital skills support that exists out there. And in terms of the way this impacts people, as well as kind of really practical daily things, I was really sad to see that non-users of the internet are 35% more lonely than those who do use the internet. So whilst the progress of technology has brought so many benefits to the way we work, to the way we communicate, to the way we entertain ourselves, BT are really determined to make sure that that doesn't leave anyone behind. And that's where we need your help. We've launched a groundbreaking digital skills programme called Skills for Tomorrow with a really ambitious goal. We want to support 10 million people across the country, whether that's individuals, families, or businesses, to help equip them with the digital skills they need so that they can take advantage of today's connected world, but also so that they can thrive in the future. We've got quite a heritage in this area. Some of you may have heard of the Barefoot Computing Programme, which BT runs in partnership with Computing for Schools. So this supports primary school teachers to deliver the national computing curriculum. So far, we've already supported over 70,000 primary school teachers, equipping them with training and resources. And through that, we've reached 2 million primary school children. It teaches them computational thinking concepts like logic, spotting patterns, abstraction, all of these skills which are really essential if you want to start learning things like coding, which we all know is an important future skill. But now we're expanding that. We want to reach everyone, no matter what their age, no matter what their background, no matter what their current skill level. And we want to contribute to making society more inclusive. So we've launched a website, our Skills for Tomorrow portal, which brings together some of the best online resources and training from many partners, including the Good Things Foundation. And we've launched a number of programs to offer face-to-face training. So for children, we'll continue to work through the Barefoot programme, hoping to equip another 3 million children by 2025 with those vital skills. For young people, we have a programme called BT Work Ready. So that's for 18 to 24-year-olds who are not in employment, education or training. And it gives them work experience, training in employability skills and important digital skills to really help them get that first step on the career ladder. For families, we've created resources and activities that parents and kids can do together at home to help them learn together. And we're working with partners like Internet Matters to help make sure that everyone can keep their family safe online. For businesses, we are aiming to reach 1 million owners and employees of small and medium enterprises, helping them to grow their businesses and their careers through digital skills. And that's working with partners like Google and LinkedIn. And for older, more vulnerable and digitally excluded people, that's where you guys come in. That's where we really need your help. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about how we can support you to have a really massive impact with that audience. I guess I just wanted to kind of remark on partnership, which I think is absolutely fundamental to the way you work as the Online Centres Network and to the way we work through our Skills for Tomorrow programme. So we might have a massive reach, but we know that this is an enormous challenge that we can't tackle alone. And we know that there are lots of great organisations out there on the ground already doing fantastic work in this space. And as a business whose role is about connecting people, we think that actually one of the critical things we can do is help amplify what others are doing, connect people to support that already exists out there, take the best solutions and scale those up so that they can reach new audiences. So these are just some of our partners through the Skills for Tomorrow programme. I'm really proud to have Good Things Foundation as one of those. One of the things that really excites us about working with the Good Things Foundation and the Online Centres Network is your ability to reach people across the country who are really most in need of support. The work that you do, I've seen myself, really changes people's lives. And this was really brought home to me recently when I visited my local online centre, which is run by Hackney Cooperative Developments. It's 5 minutes from my house in Dalston, and I'm ashamed to say that I didn't realise it existed, but now that I do, definitely something that I will be pointing others towards. And when I was there, I met Bekele, and he was the business development manager of the centre and led their work on digital inclusion. And from speaking to Bekele, there were a number of things that really struck me. The first was how connected that centre is into the local community. Bekele was about to pop down to the local mosque. He was going to speak to them about the census rehearsal that was happening in Hackney, because in 2021, the census will be conducted entirely online for the first time. I also saw how actually, in many cases, digital skills are not what your learners come to you for in the first place. They want help with practical things in their daily lives, like filling out a tax return, searching for a job, learning English. And digital skills become the enabler for all of those things. I also saw how flexible the centre was to cater to the needs of its audiences. So allowing people to drop in whenever, never turning anyone away, allowing people to learn at their own pace, whether that be through one-to-one support or whether that be through a group class. And the depth of relationship that centre builds with its learners was really evident for me. And in fact, some of their volunteers had actually come through the training programmes themselves and were now supporting others. And we're really excited that through our partnership with you, that we're going to be able to help more online centres like Hackney Cooperative Developments have an even greater impact on their local communities. So how we're doing that, firstly, is partnering with online centres around the country. We've already launched 20 BT-sponsored centres, and as well as offering funding for those centres, we're partnering them up with our local stores or our local call centres so that together they can actually work out what are the needs of that community and where can BT offer additional support. So that might be providing volunteers to go into the centre and work with some of your learners, or it might be hosting events in our store to help raise awareness of the services you provide. It's quite early days. We only launched this partnership back in October, but we're really seeing some encouraging signs of how those partnerships are developing. So, for example, we know that in Sheffield and Leeds, where we've got two partnered centres that happen to be run by ladies called May, they're working with our PlusNet teams, and they're thinking about actually some really practical support that our colleagues can provide for those centres. We've also had some really positive feedback from Hilton Castle, which is our sponsored centre in Sunderland. So they had a positive meeting with the contact centre there, and they're looking at supporting some of the Make It Click sessions, which I know you're running in the Northeast at the moment. So this is what we hope to see more of. We're launching the second wave of our partnership in April, so that will be another 70 to 80 BT-sponsored centres, and I really hope that some of you in the room today can be part of that. We're also looking at what we can do to support the wider online centres network. So one of the things that we hope that we can offer you is support through BT volunteers. As I mentioned earlier on, we've got 100,000 colleagues who work with us with a huge range of different skills. They could support with anything from maybe supporting accounts or helping you develop your websites, developing a marketing strategy to reach new users. And actually, one thing I'd really encourage you to do today is to speak to the Good Things Foundation network team who've got a stand outside. I know that they'd really love to hear from you what sort of support is going to be most valuable for you. And finally, we're making the Good Things Foundation's Learning My Way resources available through the Skills for Tomorrow website. And we're going to be encouraging our colleagues and our customers to think about anyone that they know in their lives who might benefit from some of that online training. We've got quite a big ambition. We're hoping to reach 10,000 people a year together, particularly focusing on those elderly and vulnerable audiences that I know that you're so fantastic at supporting. And I just wanted to end by playing a short video which I think really brings to life the sort of impact that our work together can have.
When you don't know how to use Excel properly and people just assume that it's boring or it's dull. Once you know it, it does become more interesting. You just be like, oh my gosh, is this how formula works? Oh my gosh, is this what you can do with this?
It's great that BT offers this opportunity to all local communities to have projects like digital inclusion running. When I had my face-to-face training, I had a volunteer who supported me.
To be able to provide that support for somebody who doesn't know or are feeling a little less confident in themselves, and to help them and empower them to do that, I think it's the best thing you can do.
I went to classes to improve on my skills, and so now I've come to understand it's paramount. You need IT skills to do lots of things.
I feel like I am more confident now because it's helped me to search for jobs a lot more easily and a lot more accurately.
Yeah,
it's simple and easy and it's free. So that's it. That's all you need to know. My name is Tarana Begum.
My name is Rodolphia Sile.
My name is Agata, and I can definitely recommend Skills for Tomorrow.
So with that, I'll just say thank you. Thank you for listening and thank you for inviting me to be here today, and really excited to be working together to have a positive impact on communities across the UK.